In just a moment, see what's bugging Midtown residents about flooding problems in the area.
Also see how over 240 college campuses are uniting for College Radio Day. Later see what updates we have on the NBA lockout.
Good evening, I'm Ralph Small.
And I'm Latricia Sutton.
Jermaine Owens, the man convicted of the kidnapping, robbery, and rape of 2 University of Memphis students in 2008, has been sentenced to 125 years in prison without parole. On December 29, 2008, 2 University of Memphis students, a man and a woman, were robbed at gunpoint and told to drive to a secluded area where the woman was raped and the male was shot. In August, Owens was convicted on 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated rape, and aggravated robbery. 2 other men were also charged in the case.
Memphians joined the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation for the annual Walk to Cure Diabetes. The walk took place at Shelby Farms with over 205,000 local supporters. Sponsors included First Tennessee Bank, Sedgwick, CMS, and
today we're having our 17th annual Walk to Cure Diabetes, and it benefits the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Our money goes to support diabetes research to find a cure for type 1 diabetes.
As many as 3 million Americans have diabetes, a disease most often diagnosed in childhood that strikes suddenly, lasts a lifetime, and carries the constant threat of deadly complications. The walk focuses on bringing people together in a healthy activity and ways to find better treatment and eventually a cure.
The man behind the first personal computers to the groundbreaking Apple iPod and iPhone recently passed away at the age of 56. Apple co-founder and former CEO Steve Jobs has been battling with pancreatic cancer for years. Jobs not only leaves behind a wife and 4 children, but also a legacy for Apple and modern-day technology.
Flooding is causing major problems in Midtown. Insight reporter Nicole Blum has the story.
When storms roll through, excessive flooding of the creek causes major problems. After attempts to solve the issue, the city of Memphis hired Tetra Tech, an outside source, to review the issue. Residents have questions about the lack of drainage facilities and are asking the city for answers. Tetra Tech and the Lick Creek Coalition held a public meeting at Snowden School to share project ideas. The projects involve storing the floodwaters and then eventually releasing the water back into Lick Creek. Tetra Tech informed the public that they used ideas from the public, reviewed reports, and used the volume approach to find a solution. One state senator is also a resident of Midtown and takes pride in her neighborhood. She wants the city and Tetra Tech to do the same.
People in this community are very, very involved in keeping and maintaining this community as beautiful as it was when we got here, and being able to leave it for our children. And we have to find solutions to the floodwaters.
Residents are still unsure of how Tetra Tech and the city plan to control the flooding, but the director of city engineering recommends that they all remain patient.
I'm hoping tonight that we're showing that we have several projects underway coming down the pipe. Now, unfortunately, things don't move, very fast. We're probably 6 months to a year away from breaking ground on the first project, but they are coming.
Tetra Tech has 9 projects waiting to be reviewed by the city. The Basin report said the proposed projects could cost between $20 and $30 million. Nicole Blum, Insight News.
Over 240 college radio stations will participate in College Radio Day. It begins on Tuesday, October the 11th. Chris Freitas reports on how college broadcasters are preparing for the event.
College Radio Day is intended to promote awareness of college radio stations, encourage the community to tune in, and raise funds. The University of Memphis radio station WMR will participate in College Radio Day. As one of the broadcasters involved in the event, It is hoped that U92, the jazz lover, will have more listeners, especially those who are U of M students.
Broadcasting programs at colleges and universities and at high schools even are very important to get the message out to the community and to get specific messages out to the community that people want to hear.
The jazz lover has an older audience, despite a staff made up of volunteers and college students. While it attracts listeners from around the world, WMR has struggled with making itself known on campus.
Here at WMR, what we're planning to do is to try to connect the dots, so to speak, between the community at large and the student population that we have, because there is a disconnect because we're a jazz station.
The station plans to change that on College Radio Day. Throughout the day, several promotions will air and contests will be held to attract new listeners. Reporting from WMR Studios here on the University of Memphis campus, this is Chris Freitas, Insight News.
U92 can also be heard online at wumr.memphis.edu. Smartphone users can download the free TuneIn Radio app and search for WUMR.
Coming up after the break, see what this University of Memphis student is doing on stage with a Grammy Award-winning artist and a teen music idol.
They say thank you can go a long way. Have you ever wanted to thank the brave men and women of our armed forces who risk their lives for us on a daily basis? Now Salute America's Heroes makes that possible through a network of support services that they offer, services like jobs and housing, especially to those who are disabled. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE or visit saluteheroes.org on the web.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Did you know that a family of four can earn up to $50,000 a year and still be eligible for government health insurance for their children? If you or a friend have kids without medical insurance, call the uninsured helpline at 1-800-234-1317. In my role as the chief of surgery on a medical drama, I've become even more aware of the urgent need for health coverage. Call the uninsured helpline now at 1-800-234-1317.
In tonight's Student Spotlight, reporter Tiffany Neely spoke with a U of M student who is performing inside the classroom and for a worldwide tour. Insight welcomes senior jazz student major and professional bass player David Parks.
Hi everyone, I'm Tiffany Neely. Welcoming to the Spotlight David Parks, a 24-year-old jazz studies major in his senior year here at U of M. All right, David, I understand you're not just a student here at U of M. You've already started off your music career with not only a reality show, and you've also traveled with some famous performers, is that right?
Correct. First the reality show with Diddy making his band. After that, I got lucky, they saw me on the show doing my thing. We really like what you're doing. We're putting the band together for Sean Kingston. Got that call, and things really took off from there.
All right, it's great. So the reality show actually brought you to Sean Kingston. Like you thought you ended up with Sean Combs, but you ended up with Sean Kingston.
Right, yeah, correct. I ended up with Sean Kingston. Like the Diddy thing was a great experience, a great exposure, and it was definitely what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. So did you actually go on tour with Sean Kingston?
I did go on tour with Sean Kingston, a couple of tours. We did a Canadian tour.
I know Sean Kingston, his is like a lot of hip-hop and R&B and maybe a little bit of pop. How is being a jazz music major, how did that help in the tour?
Well, jazz music is it's probably one of the most difficult forms of music to understand. It's real complex as opposed to like a hip-hop or a pop, so it's very easy to just scale it down and go into a whole other realm.
And And I have seen that you're a mentor. You have a professor here, Tim Goodwin. He's your mentor. Like, how has he impacted your music and your success?
Oh, well, Tim, man, when I first got here, I kind of had the big head, you know, I'm a high shot based student or whatever. Tim kind of humbled me real quick, like, look, you know, if you really want to do this, you got to get serious, you know. So that definitely helped out, for sure.
And final question, what do you think would your big moment look like where you can say, I have made it, I'm successful?
Wow. I have made it and I am successful. When you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. When you have hits on the billboards, and when you're in movies, when you're doing movies, you're doing soundtracks to movies, just taking over, like really making an imprint in history. That's what I'm about.
All right, thank you, David Parks, and all of you can...
What Los Angeles Laker Luke Walton has to say about the NBA lockout and why he's in Memphis until a decision is reached.
Freedom. It means different things to different people. For a person with a visual disability, a guide dog provides the opportunity to enjoy a full and active life. It can mean the freedom to go where they want to go and do what they want to do. That's why the law permits service dogs anywhere that's open to the public. To learn more, contact the Guide Dog Foundation for the Blind at 1-800-548-4337 or on the web at guidedog.org.
NBA Commissioner David Stern has canceled the remainder of the preseason and is threatening to call off the first 2 weeks of the regular season if an agreement is not reached by Monday. The deal breaker between owners and players centers around the basketball-related income. Players are sticking firm to their stance of wanting 53% of the BRI, while owners want the number to drop to 47%. With the season looming at large, many players are turning to alternate means of work. That includes Los Angeles Lakers forward Luke Walton, who is working as an assistant coach for the Memphis Tigers basketball team. Walton believes the two sides are very far apart, and a deal is not going to be made until those involved begin to lose money.
Get done once we start missing paychecks. Well, you know, at the same time, the owners are going to be missing paychecks as well. So I think, obviously, you know, in the summertime, everyone wants to get it done, but it's not that same urgency as when you're used to getting paychecks every 2 weeks, and, you know, they got to start closing arenas and closing all that. I think it lights a little more of a fire under both sides.
For more information on the lockout is available at www.nba.com. Well, all we have this evening. I'm Latricia Sutton.
And I'm Ralph Small. Good night.